Put the kids to bed. Dad's home. We are the DWO podcast representing the Dad World Order. I am the handsome head of household, Mr. Magnificent Mike Martin. With me, as always, the other two dudes with datitudes, the Encyclopedia Britannica of Wrestling Fanatica, Big Rig, Eric Murphy. He is the perpetual mid-carder and a world record holder. He is the wrestling t-shirt guy, Cephas.
All right, what up, y'all? Now, normally I don't show skin on the podcast, but for those of you who aren't following me on social media, check out what I started. Mid-card champion for life, dog. Can't nobody take the Intercontinental Championship off of me. I can't wait to get her finished.
I mean,
man.
they could. It'd just be...
We got a blowtorch that says otherwise.
Oh, shit. Well, that voice. Big Rig, you want to introduce our guest today?
Absolutely. Absolutely. As Mr. Magnificent Mike Martin said, we are the DWO podcast, and tonight we have with us a very special guest, Mr. Charles Colton. Sir, how the heck are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. How are you guys this evening?
Pretty hunky-dory.
Man. Yeah.
Thanks for
Let's
asking.
get rolling.
I was going to go with the letter, Kenny, not so bad.
Not so bad.
I don't got the Canadian accent down here.
Good and you.
Good and you. Not so bad. Oh, my God. Can we do a whole podcast just doing letter Kennyisms? That'd be awesome.
Yes.
I'd probably have to watch it first.
You could catch his clips on YouTube and pick up enough.
I was counting on you to have seen every episode.
Buddy,
You're
I don't
letting
even
me
know.
down
I don't
right
even
now.
know what you guys are talking about, to be honest with you.
Figure it out.
Figured it out.
Well,
Figure it out,
talk
bud.
about this. I don't know
You're
what we're
fucking
talking
10.
about.
You're fucking 10 ply, bud.
I don't know what that means.
You're
Cool.
softer than a Tootsie Roll fruit pop.
Allegedly.
Now you know how I feel when you guys
Allegedly.
start talking about Fortnite.
That's true.
Hey, man, Fortnite's fucking dope. You need to get with the program. Especially since they put no build in. It's been pretty awesome, man.
I have
Enjoyable.
Puppy Night. It's a whole really shitty game.
Well, eventually, you'll be done with that game.
Yeah.
Quite literally. So, Mr. Charles Colton, why don't you just tell us a little bit of how'd you get your start in the business?
In the backyard. I know that's
Yes.
a very, very unpopular thing to say. Guys don't like to hear it, but it's the truth. If Foley and the Hardys got away with it,
Right.
and they made it in front of 100,000 people, I can do it in front of 12 people. I can admit it.
Exactly.
So, just in the yard. It's actually how I met Bo over here.
Yep.
That checks
Guy I
out.
knew had a 18-foot pro ring. We started bumping in it, learning there, and then just kind of met local indie guys, and then just kind of hit the road going with them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
As these guys know, I've told them a little bit. I have a little bit of a indie history myself, and the first time I ever left state was to travel to UWA, I believe it was the promotion you guys were working under. The name you were under, anyways, in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, I believe it was.
Okay.
And it's the first time I ever left Ohio to go wrestle anywhere, and it was pretty cool, man. I believe I worked 2 matches with Charles Colton. I was under a clown gimmick then, so I
Nice.
was a little different, but I was piss poor. And obviously, I still love the business, so I've still surrounded myself in the business, but I knew that I obviously wasn't made for the ring after so long, but you've still been going, man. You're still, I see you took some time off. I know that, but you're back, and you're back what seems to be like 3-4 times a week, man. You're busy.
Yeah, I actually halted on taking August bookings just because June and July was so hectic. And fitting for this podcast, just missing time with the kids every weekend, stuff like that. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take a month off, chill with the kids again. And then September rolls around, I'm going right back to being gone every weekend, traveling, hitting it all again.
Yeah, because
Like
even
the kids love it. They love going to the shows, but there's so many that are so far away they can't travel to. And then they're like, well, why don't you just at home with us then if we can't go?
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I'll give you a couple weekends now.
It's the
Yeah, I-
balance.
worked 12-hour shifts and, found like felt like I didn't see the kids as much. I can't imagine like being on the road a bunch like that. So yeah, I'd say spending time with the kiddos definitely starts hitting priority after a few weeks on the road.
Yeah, definitely.
Respect, Dad. Respect.
So how many kiddos you got now, man?
So 4.
4.
Got
Oh,
4.
wow.
Got one that will be 13 next month now.
Okay.
She lives in Texas.
And
And I've got a 9-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old, all girls.
All
Oh,
right.
man.
Heck yeah.
Swimming in the estrogen ocean, they say.
Yeah. Starting to drown.
You know what,
in.
man? It was having daughters made a real man of me.
Yeah.
And it really puts a lot of things into perspective as a man. So
Yep.
in terms of women in general and just how to treat women, because you never want to put.
Yeah, it's like an old cliche of you don't want your daughter to meet a guy like you.
Yep.
But yeah, definitely. Because
I don't know if you guys have watched the new American Nightmare Cody documentary, man, but he spoke on being a girl dad and how it changed him a lot. And I can vouch for it myself. Every one of us can. Having a girl definitely softens you in a way that is undescribable.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely would give your life for them. I'll tell you that much.
You melt right in the palm of their little hands.
One thing I have instituted though is making sure that she grows up and has a thick skin, and is able to, because the world could be a really shitty place, and especially for a woman. So I try to, just make her realize like you're probably gonna get shit, but you got to be able to give it right back. And she's getting pretty good at that. So
We keep sitting front row at wrestling events. So
oh yeah.
she's smack talking with the best of them.
Right.
She about got landed on a couple times already, but we'll protect her. We'll make sure.
Oh yeah. She's all right.
So, Mr. Colton, as a father, it is important. We do ask all of our guests this question, but as a dad, I guess even more so important. What do you keep your thermostat set at, sir?
So if during the day at home 70, at night goes down to 68.
Boom.
So
Nailed
the
it.
parameters of a good answer on this particular show.
You just hit that window
68 to 70.
right at.
Yeah.
I mean, the perfect answer is obviously 69. Nice. But
Nice.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see him win the Battle Royal live in Detroit this weekend. Yeah.
They better make that Battle Royal for something. They just do that just to give him a win at SummerSlam. I'm going to be a little PO'd.
You're just going to
But
say,
anyway.
yeah.
It'll be like a
I'll-
Snickers trophy or something.
Yeah.
Whoever the fuck's sponsoring it.
Like
I'll
in
tell
that
you
like
what,
ovary shaped
he's
trophy
just gonna-
they give the women at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I tell you, I'm pissed off that they, I don't know why they did, and I'm sure we'll hear reasons why, but they paid off the Becky Trish thing already. The fucking Raw before SummerSlam? What's that all about?
No, they moved the match.
No.
It's happening August 14th.
In Canada. Eh?
What?
Stupid.
I didn't
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, why have that at SummerSlam when you can have it in Canada? Sure. Go ahead.
Whatever.
Um,
Oh, yeah. Canadian needs it, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like not even in Trish's hometown, so like
Are you
Right.
drinking Canada
Yeah, what-
Dry?
I am.
You son of a bitch. That's your fault.
you made this happen.
It is not my fault they make delicious ginger ale. It's not my fault. And it's also not my fault they're out of a late ones because I'd be drinking that instead because it pairs
Right.
so well with this Buffalo Trace bourbon.
Sponsor us, Canada Dry.
Or
Sponsors
Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace.
Either
Something like
one.
that, yeah.
Both of you would be great. We could do a nice, segue into a mixed drink. Just saying.
Anyway,
So, man, let's talk about your wrestling fandom. What's your first memories of wrestling, man? What drawed you in? What made you a wrestling addict?
So I don't have that first memory. I hear people talk all the time about, they watched their first match, they remember what it was, or their dad went and rented them a videotape and they were hooked. It's always been there. I don't know where it started. I don't remember any part of my life that I wasn't a fan of it.
Right.
I'd say it started to take off probably early '98, beginning of the Austin era. That's where it definitely grew. But I mean, I still, have faint memories of watching it beforehand.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
So was Stone Cold
I'm
your
kind of
guy?
the same way. I didn't like Stone Cold. I never remember him as like the ringmaster. I don't remember back that far. I know I was probably like watching here and there, but like my core memory was Mankind getting thrown off the cage. That was like my, hey, I love this shit. So I get that for sure.
See, I don't know if I've ever actually told you guys this. My first memory of pro wrestling is Doink going out in the crowd and talking to kids on Raw and scaring the shit out of them. I remember we were going to a wrestling event fairly shortly after I had seen that, and I knew in my head that there was a potential for Doink to be there, and I was terrified. I remember it was just like that was one of my first early memories of pro wrestling.
Then you look back on it and you were like, that's the gimmick.
Yeah.
True. I ended up playing a clown gimmick. I was Bobo the Clown for a year or so when I did indie wrestling. So
Was it more of like a juggalo clown, or was it?
Yeah, it was definitely. Of course, I was 19 to 20.
I seen the
I
video,
was
bro.
absolutely.
Seen
It
the
was
YouTube braids.
you saw my hair.
I saw
You
Bring
saw-
that hair, bring that hair and that stash back is all I'm saying.
Listen,
Trust me, we are gonna upload that video to this and we're gonna play it live on the air one of these
I'm
days.
surprised we didn't already. To be honest,
Oh, trust me, like just before I was going back looking through the thread to try to see if I could find it, but I couldn't find it. So
Speaking of which, remind me on next Wrestle Talk episode, I have a potential new theme song for the show, and I want to show it to you guys. So
awesome.
we'll have to check that out.
I like it.
I like it.
That's total side news. But so you were a fan since birth, apparently. So what was your first backyard moment? Were you how old were you when you first went out and fell on purpose in the backyard?
So that would have been in second grade.
Oh my god.
I remember it specifically. There was a kid that lived in my trailer park named Brandon, and we were both big wrestling fans. We were 7 or 8 years old, however old you are in second grade. And I remember going out back. I remember pedigreeing him, shoot, and him crying and going home. And that was my first taste of it, and I fell in love and just,
I guess did what they do on TV.
And still pedigreeing people.
That was easy. That was easy.
Is that your finisher now?
No.
Oh, that'd have been what a cool moment that would have been. First move I ever did. It's not my finisher.
I mean, it
practicing since
really
second
worked.
grade.
I learned at a very young age. Something just fell on the shelf on my head and scared the shit out of me.
So tell us about Colton versus
Kevin
all
Nash.
y'all. Uh-oh, look.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
So the Colton versus all y'all. You can get the t-shirts. Contact me on my socials. But get a cheap plug in there.
No, absolutely.
Oh, we get all the plugs
so
in
when I
already.
returned to wrestling last year, back in November, got to talking to somebody who was booking a promotion that I had worked with my first initial run. And I was like, hey, man, I want to come back. And he's like, hell yeah, I'll put you on the next show. He's like, can you cut a promo for me? And I was like, yeah. I said, who do you want me to cut the promo on? What do you want the basis to be? And he goes, just cut the promo calling out everybody. He's like, calling everybody in the locker room that you're back to kick everybody's ass. You're taking over. And, there's the whole like OVE, there's the whole everybody does the verse everybody.
Mhm.
Well, I'm like, man, I'm from fucking Kentucky. Like, it ain't everybody. It's all y'all.
Oh y'all.
So I just took that, him telling me to cut that promo. I was like, yeah, Colton versus all y'all.
I like it.
I love
That's
it.
awesome. That's good. I mean, you're right. It's so and so versus everyone or everything or whatever. Yeah, hit him with the all y'all. I love it.
What part
I
of Kentucky?
actually, back in March, I was working a show out in Illinois, and Madman Fulton was on the card.
Bitch.
And I'm like standing there in my Colton versus all y'all t-shirt, and he's kind of looking at me, and I'm like, oh shit. And he's like, hey, how bad that tattoo on your throat hurt? And I'm like, oh, not bad at all. He's like, oh, I'm thinking about getting my throat done. And I'm like, all right, so there's no heat here? Like, we're good. All right.
I can absolutely relate to that. I spoofed the Dark Order's t-shirt. Joined the Dark Order for one of our t-shirts, and we were at Squared Circle Expo and ran into Evil Uno wearing it, and he's like, hey, that's not mine.
He was cool about it.
It's a clever
That was
spoof.
awesome.
I'll tell you what I like about the all y'all thing, man, is it has a KO feel to it. It gives you almost like a street punk redneck feel. Like you know what I mean? I like it, man. I feel like
Lone Wolf.
Yeah, a little bit.
The coolest thing that's happened with it so far that like let me know it was over. I was wrestling a fair show, one of the county fairs out here in a place called Marion County. And the day after I wrestled there, their high school baseball team made a post on Facebook that said Marion County versus all y'all.
Nice.
And I'm like, oh, shit,
That's
it's
dope.
over.
That's awesome.
All of a sudden,
That's
the
so
football team has like a sign in the locker room. Like, yeah, that'd be dope, dude.
So don't feel bad about the beef with Fulton, man, because we got a little bit of beef with Fulton. If you don't leave our boy Tussle alone, he keeps beating up our friend, our camera taking our photography friend, and he's gonna learn. If he doesn't stop messing with him, he's gonna end up in a match with him, and he's gonna be humiliated because Tussle's gonna kick his ass.
I mean,
You don't want Dad to take his belt off.
I mean, he already gave him the tussle splash, and
Yeah.
I feel like that was punishment enough. But he's gonna find out.
He's just such a big man. First time we met him, he just looked up like, good
Fulton.
Lord, yes.
Yeah.
A tree of a man, dude. For
Yeah,
real.
like I mean, I'm 6'3", and I'm still like, hey man, what's up?
Yeah, I'm 5'8", so
Yeah.
Yeah, I too. That's whew, man.
Big
But
boy.
Tussle, I mean, hell, Tussle's getting thrown around by him, and Tussle's probably what 5'8", like a $110 soaking wet.
Yeah. I think my favorite was still when he just like the very first show where he just like lawn darted him into Crash.
The a la Rey Mysterio via Kevin Nash lawn
Yes.
dart.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite memories ever of WCW.
Oh, so good.
It just makes me think of the what were they called? The dirty rat, dirty rotten something when they rapped. I can't remember now.
the
Man,
filthy
go
animal?
to- Filthy Animals, yeah, wasn't it?
Filthy
That's what it
Animals.
was. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. I remember because I was super excited that Rey Mysterio was in a rap video. I thought it was cool.
God, I can't believe they ever made him take his mask off.
Right. You guys realize the renaissance we're in wrestling right now, right? I mean, look at not just our show being successful. There's ample shows like ours being successful, and there's a ton of celebration of wrestling everywhere. Look at our week right now. Thursday, we're gonna go to Wrestling Revolver in Dayton, and we're gonna see Takeshita live in person, which is awesome. We missed out on that last time due to a flight. Something tells me we're not going to miss out on him this time. And we've got Jake Chris versus Matt Cardona. And then a day after that, we could be at another show. We're actually trying to figure out the logistics on that. But the day after that, we've got SummerSlam. And it's in Detroit. And it's going to be, the wrestling is...
We're traveling around like we're actual wrestlers.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
And I mean, you make a good point. Like, okay, look at I think it was today or yesterday. Like Roman Reigns was on First Take with Stephen A. Smith. Like, when's the last time they had wrestlers on a major ESPN show? You know what I mean? And like for me, I was a Laps fan for a really long time. Like I would say like 2006, 7-ish is when I kind of fell out of watching wrestling, and I'd kind of catch the product here and there, but I was a Laps fan for a really long time. And just in the past couple years, it just brought me right back, and I fell in love with it all over again. And it's been
What do
awesome.
you think that is? Like, what do you think that is, Charles? Somebody like in the business. I mean, have you like, is it the spirit of competition that AEW brought about, and then they, the stars they have in feeding the indies and kind of putting the names out there?
I kind of partially attribute it to COVID.
Yeah.
I think it was one of those, you didn't know what you had until it was gone.
Absolutely.
You look at not just on the indies, which are booming right now. It's great to see, but even in WWE, that 2019 they were pulling 7,500, 8,000 people maybe to a show. Weren't doing sellouts. Now it's sold out everywhere they go. Raw last night sold out.
Yep.
I went to SmackDown back at the end of June, and it was the biggest gate they had ever done in Lexington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was a big part of it, and I think the product now they've been able to, not just WWE, but all of wrestling right now, I think is utilizing guys the way they should be. Not perfectly. We don't see everybody getting their just due, but I believe the characters and everything now are being better suited for what the world and the entertainment industry is today.
Right. Well, and also I think it's a like you said, they're utilizing people to their potential. It seems like they are. I don't want to say they're listening to the fans, but like they're making the show for the fans again. Because for the longest time, it was just like, we're just going to make this show just because we can. Like people are going to show up whether they like it or not. And now, like Mike said, with the competition, it's like, okay, we got to put on some pretty kick-ass shows. So let's do it to where we get those big pop. Like, I remember when we came back from COVID, man, WWE shows and AEW shows, that first like 2 months, those shows were just hot. Like every crowd was just so happy to be there.
Yeah, and I think they've been able to utilize what they have well enough to carry that steam forward and carry that momentum.
Right.
Like I said, and it's great to see.
I love seeing how it does trickle down, though. You have, if the big guys are doing well, and that trickles down, and then everybody, is getting a little piece of the pie too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
We got a couple.
What up, James Matheny and our boy Derek? What's going on, man?
What is up, fellas?
Oh, James is a
How the heck are you?
friend between me and Charles there. Those guys have probably worked 100 matches together.
Yeah, we worked. I think over the past 2 months, we've probably worked each other 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, I don't doubt it, man. And I know you've probably worked each other another 500 times on that.
Yeah, before that. So I'll tell you another fun story about, you were asking about like first times backyard wrestling. Probably around that same age range, 7 or 8, I would go spend summers at my grandma's house. And there was a boy who lived next door to her, was a couple years older than me, but he was a big wrestling fan. Of course, it was the middle of the Attitude Era, everybody was. And so I'd always go down, I'd take my wrestling figures over, we'd play wrestling figures together. Well, I went over there one day, and he had a couple of his older friends over, and one of them choke slams me onto his bed, and it breaks his bed frame completely. His mom's pissed off, I get sent home, all his friends get sent home. Well, 10 years later, I'm recanting this story to James, and he's like, was the kid's name Josh? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I was one of the boys in the room when it happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we went further
That's
back
awesome.
than we thought we did.
No kidding.
Wow.
That's like when you see a married couple finding vacation photos when they were younger and they were at Disney at the same time and shit. Like, how does this happen?
I'd have to say.
That's pretty neat.
It's pretty neat.
Oh,
So,
animal appearance. Kitty.
kitty cat.
You weren't invited.
Don't worry. At some point, you'll probably see all of our dogs pop up too. So,
Yeah, mine's just staring out the window right now. Super interested in every car.
what's your cat's name?
This is Waddle.
Okay.
Waddle.
He's
Like
really,
Jared.
really fat. I'm trying to get him to come over here, but he's hard to maneuver because he's a little voluptuous.
Thick boy.
He's a heavyweight.
His
Yeah,
belly
he-
may be a little big. His hiney
Honey
may
might
be
be
a
a
little big. Oh, speaking of which, I know we already mentioned it, but you guys have got to watch that documentary if you haven't.
I will.
Yeah,
I
I
was
haven't
gonna
gotten a
watch
chance
it.
to yet.
I
Oh,
was
man.
gonna watch it last night, but I watched all 10 episodes of Twisted Metal instead.
Nice.
Really, I lost my dad in 2018, and to hear Cody talk about losing his dad, and it was just, bro, I was at work, and I literally had to like stop for a second and like pause it because I was just full-fledged crying at work. It was just that powerful of a documentary, dude. I think I texted you guys like I'm just
Yep.
sitting here sobbing at work like a
Right,
pig.
yeah.
That, that's wrestling. It's the power of wrestling. I think that's why it shows that connection people are looking for. When you're at COVID, we're all home alone. We were all thirsting for that interaction, man. And the way that they've been able to fabricate these stories lately has been therapy. It's been nice. The bloodline. Name another 3-year story.
It's been a long time, dude.
I feel like that never would have happened without COVID because we were kind of pigeonholed into having something like that at the start. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we had to have this long story, I don't know, man. I feel like it's worked out. Like he said, I feel like COVID's kind of went positive for wrestling. We're in a boom right now.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. I thought of this the other day. And, Roman Reigns was a perennial good guy character, per se. It was like somebody, they wanted to shove down our throat and wanted us to like. Kind of like John Cena before him. How do you think it would have worked if John Cena was to turn heel and got the Paul Heyman treatment? How do you think that would have panned out?
I don't know, just because I don't know if I could see. Like, it's hard for me to see Cena in that role.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never
Roman,
seen
I
him.
always thought was natural. Roman's, he's a bigger guy. He's a good-looking guy. So, as a wrestling fan, as a male, I'm looking at him and I'm like, damn, he looks better than me. I probably couldn't kick his ass in a fight. And my wife probably wants to hook up with him before she want to hook up with me because he's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
I hate this guy. Fuck him. Even while he was a baby face.
Yeah.
Like, he was always, that hard-to-like guy, which I think, resonated during his babyface run. Like, he always came across more natural as a heel that he would be.
He did always kind of have that big guy standing in the background, kind of brooding, So I
Yeah,
almost
it's that
feel like
cool
the
hand
transition,
kind of.
yeah. It's like the transition might have been a little easier for him to where like someone like Cena would have been more of like a Hulk Hogan turn.
Yeah.
But I would have loved to seen it though, just seeing like where that could have went with someone like Paul Heyman. But Cena's such a good mouthpiece though, and with someone like Roman, you had to put Heyman with him initially to get him over the transition.
Yeah.
That's
'Cause
why
now he's
I
got
I
great
think people were
promos, man.
tired of Roman promos at that point too. You needed,
Suffer and succotash.
yeah,
You don't say.
That's why I found the cinematic match between Cena and Bray so damn entertaining because it gave us here's a heel turn, that little tongue in cheek reference to it, him in the NWO shirt and stuff like that. It just, like you said, it's weird. None of it looked right. It's funny we all say that, but he debuted as a heel.
Yeah.
yep,
I mean, not with the ruthless aggression. I would say they tried to babyface him a bit there, but when he came
After
out,
Thugonomics, though.
Thugonomics was just him shitting on people.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that at WrestleMania 35. I did not expect to see Cena at all whatsoever. So
What?
when they started playing the Babe Ruth thing, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Babe, why is this showing me Babe Ruth? What is going on? And when it cuts back before the music hit, one of the banner things said Thugonomics on it, and I was like, no. And then it fucking hit, and I was like, I didn't realize I would pop so fucking hard for that, man. But it was so
God, I'm losing my
awesome.
mind.
Yeah, that's why I'm so excited for you guys for SummerSlam, man.
Yeah, I did love his Thugonomics theme song. That
Yeah,
thing that slapped, dude.
word.
But yeah, Derek kind of saying the same thing. Lost interest in watching. COVID kind of brought it back and reignited. So Gotta love it, man. Brought a lot of people back, I'm sure.
I think TikTok helped a lot for me too, man. TikTok, hashtag WrestleTalk. If you don't know anything about TikTok, there is a whole damn near industry level of amount of fans that have TikToks that talk positively about wrestling. And that's the thing too. This is I listen to Not Sam, and I'm going to bring up something he talked about on his episode today. We are a positive wrestling show. There are a lot of places out there that hate everything and talk about hating everything, and that's because that's what some people want. That's not what I want, and I feel like that's not what a lot of people want these days, and that's why they're looking for this positive wrestling outlet, and that's why I like what we're doing here, man. I feel like that's definitely something that's needed in this particular industry. It's positive. The New Day, man. Power positivity, baby.
Absolutely. I just
gotta
watched
be
them on
sour.
Celebrity Family Feud. It's a great
That was
episode.
fantastic.
I
It was.
gotta watch that still. Is that like up on YouTube or
It's on Hulu.
Yeah.
is it on Hulu? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotta check
Really
that
good.
out.
Yeah, some of them answers were ridiculous.
Yeah, come on.
Like, come the fuck on. For real. If you guys haven't seen the clip going viral, they posted one of the question was, who would you hook Steve Harvey up with if he was...
I saw that one. Big E said Beyonce.
He didn't even let Steve finish the question.
He was just like,
Steve's face, dude. Steve's faces and his reactions are what make it. I could watch Family Feud, even without celebrities. I could watch Family Feud reruns with Steve Harvey for just hours on end.
Dude, they have things on YouTube that are they're like 3 hours long, and it's just like crazy answers and reactions from Steve Harvey Family Feud, and you can just sit there and just watch them over and over and over again. It's awesome.
those shows are damn near WWE levels of episodes. You know what I mean? Like when they talk about longest running episodic shows, those are up there. They have a lot of episodes. They film like 3 or 4 a day every time they do them. So
yeah, because before it was Steve, it was like what the hell's his name? Al
Louis Anderson.
Louis Anderson, but it was damn it, what the hell's his name? Al from Tool Time. From him and Bruno.
Richard Karn.
Richard Karn, yeah.
Richard Karn.
Then also a Hamilton, Ohio native, Ray Combs. I actually I was actually family friends with him and his family. I don't have any history with him because he died when I was so young. But
yeah,
his family, I actually spent a lot of time growing up playing on Ray Combs Avenue, which is a tiny 2-block street in Hamilton. So,
still though, he's got a street named after him. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
I wait the day for Mike Martin Boulevard.
I was thinking a T-shirt guy Lane, you know.
Yeah. So Charles, I gotta ask you because I'm not super familiar with you, or do you have like a kind of like a hometown promotion or anything like that, or you just like traveling wherever?
So I've got a lot of home promotions. As dumb as that may sound. I really got from back in 2009 when I broke in on the Indies, when I started on that, got out of the backyard. I really got my first big break with a place here in Kentucky called UCW, Ultimate Championship Wrestling. With a guy named Terry England's the promoter, who I owe a lot to. I have given that man so many gray hairs. I'm sure he has cursed me more times than he has praised me. It's probably mutual. I probably cursed him a time or two. But I got nothing but love and respect for him. Then I'm sure everybody here, if you're familiar with any bit of the indie scene, knows who Shane Mercer is.
Mm-hmm. Shane
used to backyard wrestle with us. I met Shane back in 2006, backyard wrestling here. He had his own promotion, backyard promotion in Kentucky called XCF, which he restarted as an indie promotion last year, which is actually what got me back into it. He sent me a text one day. He was like, "Hey, you want to wrestle again?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." Actually, now that you mention it, I actually just last night departed XCF for the time being, just for some personal reasons. Really been wrestling recently, a place in Southern Indiana called TCW, Traditional Championship Wrestling. Been working there a lot just because they were the first ones to give me a full-time spot when I decided to come back.
Right.
What part of Kentucky are you from?
Place called Radcliffe. It's about 36 miles south of Louisville.
Okay.
Cool.
If you're familiar with Fort Knox, we're literally
Yep.
right outside of Fort Knox. We're the bordering
Okay.
community to Fort Knox.
You got to keep us posted on some of your shows, man, because we travel. We like to go. We like to go see some wrestling, man. So give me a reason. They always come up and go an hour north of me. It'd give me a perfect reason to go an hour south of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I was supposed to be in. It was either Columbus or Dayton. I don't remember now. At the end of June, but the show got canceled.
womp.
Yeah.
Well, so there something about Kentucky, because I know for a long time, like, it's kind of hard to have an indie promotion in Kentucky, from what I heard. Just with
still is.
like regulations and stuff. But it seems like there's a lot of stuff popping up, like Derby City down in Louisville, New South Wrestling, which I believe is like Lexington area. I'm just naming ones that are like kind of close to us that I've heard of, but it seems like just a lot more stuff starting to pop up in Kentucky.
OVW still.
And OVW,
definitely, if you've got the upfront investment, there's a lot of like insurances and bonds and stuff that you have to be able to secure before Kentucky will license you as a promoter.
Right.
So it's a lot of like red tape up front, but that keeps out, not all of them. You'll have some that'll filter through, but it keeps out a lot of, the I hate to use the cliche, but the outlaw mud show bullshit.
The carnies. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that, but like, I think I remember I watch a lot of Fightful stuff, and Sean Ross Sapp's from Maysville, Kentucky, up on the river, and he always talked about, like, back when he wrestled, he would always go and wrestle over in Cincinnati because wrestling in Kentucky was damn near like impossible, and it seems like it's starting to get a little bit better now, and a lot more promotions are popping up. So I think it's pretty cool.
They changed, and they changed over during the time that I was on my hiatus. But it used to be the Athletic Commission. A guy named Tim, who, if anybody watching this has wrestled in Kentucky, will know exactly who I'm talking about. So to be a wrestler, if you got $25 and you send it to the state of Kentucky, they'll give you a license.
Okay.
Don't take nothing to be a wrestler here. You got to take a physical now. You got to have an athletic physical submitted with your $25. But once you were in, Tim would show up. You wouldn't know when. He would just show up to random shows all over the state. He'd just walk up, point at you, and be like, "Come here, piss in this cup." I watched him one night chase Brian Christopher around for probably an hour and a half with a cup in his hand, and Brian Christopher hiding everywhere in the building. God rest his soul. And he finally cornered him, got him to piss, and his fist came back clean.
They're looking for performance enhancing.
Back then for weed, anything.
Really?
Yeah, they were.
Like
they
that
were
no
real
more.
strict.
Yeah.
So what is
Kentucky's
what
still
is it
behind the
now?
times
Just
on
like
that, though.
they're just looking for like steroids and shit like that.
I couldn't tell you because since I've been back at all the shows I've done in Kentucky, I haven't seen them.
Okay.
I've seen nobody from. It's now the Boxing and Wrestling Authority instead of the Commission. They changed the name. They changed some of the rules, and like I said, I haven't seen them since. I used to see them all the time.
It seems like the Commonwealth is kind of loosening up on some of this stuff, but I mean, there's a lot of them Bible Belt Christians down there, Bible Belt Baptists or whatever it is. I know, I hear stories of my great grandmother lived down in Pine Knot, and like you couldn't play cards in her house because that was like the devil or something, gambling and all that. So I mean, there is a lot of that, old time thinking down there, and they got to account for those people too. But the Commonwealth is coming a long way because I mean, the gambling thing is coming along, medicinal cannabis is coming along finally, and it's a hope. And apparently, the wrestling administration is loosening its ties a little bit as well. So that's good to hear.
Yeah, I think they realized how much revenue was going to Ohio, to Indiana, to Tennessee. Yeah. They take a percentage of ticket sales off of every show. The commission here in Kentucky does. So I think when they were seeing, places like WWE, AEW, who are like, we're not dealing with that bullshit.
Wow.
We can run in Evansville, Indiana, and be 45 minutes from Louisville and not have to deal with anything and still attract Louisville's crowd over here.
Well, it's like GCW. GCW will run Columbus, Ohio. They'll run Jeffersonville, Indiana, right across the border. but they won't run Kentucky.
Yeah.
Huh.
Figure it out, Commonwealth.
Yeah, I never knew that. That's very interesting.
It's just a Commonwealth. I'm sorry.
I still love being from Kentucky, you know, despite all their backwards rules and everything.
Speaking of which,
It's a
I
beautiful
wanted
place.
to mention this for a long time. What a dope nickname you have of Kentucky. I think that is fucking brilliant.
What?
Yes, is that not the coolest name? The first time I saw that, I was like, Kentucky? That's fucking brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah, it started I don't know what fucking post she saw. I don't know what the fuck triggered it. Some random fucking girl messages me on Facebook and she said, "You're a fucking idiot, dumb fuck Chucky from Kentucky." And I was like, you could have at least made it fucking rhyme better. And then I was like, you know what? Fucking I'm stealing it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
It's damn near like worthy of just becoming like a one-name person. Like, oh, what's your name? Kentucky. What's your last name? There is none. I'm like Cher.
I actually, it's in my garage right now, but I actually have a custom Louisville Slugger that I got for Christmas from my parents. And on the nameplate on the bat is Kentucky Worthington.
Yes. I got one made. I got the sign. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I didn't know that was a thing. Have you ever actually been to the Louisville Museum or Slugger Museum?
I used to go up there probably once or twice a year. I used to love going up there. I haven't been since COVID, but
yeah, I went pre-COVID. It was, I mean, isn't it impressive, like the history to get to hold a bat that was held by like Babe Ruth or any of those like legendary Hall of Famers, and it's like, holy crap, they used this bat, and they were watching like a 90 or 90 something mile an hour fastball from the perspective of a catcher. They have set up there. That shit's crazy.
I don't know if they had it when you were there, but they've got a display, and it's all like current active MLB players and their used Louisville Sluggers.
Yes.
So I was up there on a visit one time, and it was all little kids in line to take pictures holding, you know, whoever's bat, Suzuki's bat or Jeter's bat or whoever's bat was up there. So I get my daughter Sadie, and I'm like, "Hey, come here, come stand in line." She's like, "All right." So we get up there, and they're like, "All right, and whose bat do you want to hold?" And I'm like, "She wants to hold Joey Votto." I was like, "But I'm going to have to hold it with her because I don't want her to drop it." So I've got this picture of me holding Votto's bat around her. Just because I was like, I don't look like a fucking idiot being up here like, I'm a grown-ass man, but I want a picture of Joey Votto's bat because I love him.
I love Joey Votto. Did you guys see the promo that he cut on the news host or the show host or whoever it was? Someone was giving him a really hard time, and he had to look it up. He cuts like a wrestling promo on him, and it was beautiful. Like, that man has such a great dry sense of humor.
I love that he came back with a fucking vengeance too, man. Like, he didn't come back just so. He did some awesome shit in his first few games back. He's still. I mean, Votto still bangs, dog. That's why it's a phrase. You know what I mean? It makes sense because it's true. Speaking of which, I am super excited. This is I officially have season tickets to the Bengals. I don't have them for this season, but I have them for next season, which means I still get access to this season ticket things. So I get to go to the private party for season ticket holders thing with Skyline on the August 13th, and I am super fucking excited about it. I feel like an elite level of fan.
No, I can hear.
I was just over the moon when Skyline got the sponsorship deal over Gold Star.
Yes.
Bro.
I'm like, it's the greatest thing ever.
Yep.
Finally, for a second time. Look at that cheese coney, dog. That's a Skyline cheese coney.
I am like so insanely jealous of that tattoo.
Bro.
Right? That's so awesome. I'm on too.
Like not like, oh, it's a cartoony one. No, that is like photorealistic cheese coney on his sternum.
I'm
that's
jealous of your wiener.
Go at it.
Do you know how many times I've shown people my wiener and then ran back to my wife and been like, "Babe, I just showed all those people my wiener and they were happy about it." Like,
they said my wiener tastes great.
There's so much ammunition.
It looks delicious.
They said my wiener was bigger than they thought it would be.
Yes.
It looks so real.
They said it was cheesy. Oh man, that same guy is doing my championship belt right now. Whenever that belt gets finished, the only black you'll see is the actual black on the banner. All those little lines will be buried in gold because we're gonna make that as photorealistic as possible. And for anyone who is listening and is wondering, like, man, I wonder if that hurt on his stomach. Yes, yes, it hurt really bad, and it's gonna hurt a lot badder, worse, more bad when I get the color.
A lot more worse, badder.
Yes.
It's going to hurt a lot less gooder.
But you have to pay the cost to be the boss. You know what I'm saying?
Pain is temporary. I always
Gunther
ask,
could
like,
never.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I've never been inside a ring or taken a bump, but I have had a few tattoos. And I can only imagine that taking the bump and being able to build a callus and kind of, I'm going to say, enjoy the pain, but being able to tolerate it and, understand that it's temporary for a longer term reward.
For sure.
You think so?
I used to think that was bullshit, the callus thing, but I can tell you from experience, and I only wrestled for about a solid 2 years, okay? I mean, technically, you talk on my backyard stuff, is probably more like 8 years, but 2 years on the independent circuit, that was actually of merit. And you know what I mean? It's true. You have like a feel that like it's easier to take a bump after you've done it a bunch for, a few weekends in a row. It still hurts. Don't get me wrong, but it is definitely it's weird. It's like an adrenaline kick on. Do you still get
some
that?
stuff? It gets so routine. It's like they say riding a bicycle. And you're just bam, 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 and then it'll just be that one fucking move that you'll take, and you'll just be like, holy fuck.
There it is.
Why did I choose to do this to myself?
Speaking of Shane earlier, we were working out that show. I'll never forget it. He gave me a clothesline. It was the first time in my life I ever got the wind knocked out of me. And he's like, he's like, just breathe. I was like, I can't. I can't.
Sorry, one of the kids.
You're good,
Hey,
brother. It's the Dad
part of the
World
gig,
Order
dude.
podcast. Yeah, how many times one of us has been late, or we've had kids going to get in the thing, or dogs, or
My kids are like Puff Daddy. They're all up in the video.
Because almost on cue of my daughter walking in here, my dad's knocking on my front door right now.
Yeah, well, that's
Bring
what
him
happens.
on.
Yeah.
Real life, baby. Real life.
I'm gonna mute the mic real quick.
All right,
Okay,
go ahead.
you're good.
Oh,
You're good,
no,
brother.
never mind.
Discuss.
I was trying to tell my wife to get the door, but she got it.
Talk
Yeah.
amongst yourselves.
I'm
Discuss.
feeling very verklempt.
Very verklempt.
Mike, what's the one you always use?
The Partridge Family is neither partridges nor family.
family.
Discuss.
That's ridiculous.
It makes me laugh every time.
So, man, what's your prospects for your future, man? Are you setting your sights for a world title in one of these local federations? You trying to get some self
Right now, I got my sights set on tag titles in TCW.
Okay.
We went out. There's coincidentally a tag team around here. I don't know if you've got heard them, called DWO.
Yeah, we know them.
The Deaf World Order.
Deaf World Order.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I met him at a concert a few weeks back.
Really?
I seen this shirt and I was like, and I had my DWO, my Dad World Order hat on, and I was like, And that was literally all we said.
Yeah.
We worked. Me and my tag partner, Trace Evans. We actually worked a show. I don't know if you all knew who SPO was. He was
Sean
a pretty
Patrick.
high-profile referee on the NDC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Passed away, and we were working a benefit show for him, and we were working with the DWO and the HNIC, and working with the DWO, it was a challenge.
Are they legitimately
within-
hearing impaired?
Yes, they are completely deaf, both of them.
Oh wow.
That is a shoot.
So like us, they live their gimmick.
Yeah. They but they were easy to work with. We got the upper hand on them. Then HNIC decided to come in, and pick up the scraps and take our win from us. But we're planning on avenging that here soon.
Okay.
I dig
I'll tell
it.
you one thing. Now I am super interested in getting a sign language interpreter and trying to get the DWO on the podcast. You
Yeah,
know what
Somebody. I might
I,
know somebody.
other than, I got to spend 8 or 9 minutes kicking the shit out of them, I have nothing negative to say about them.
Oh man, that's so. How many years you think you got left in you, brother? You gonna do this for a while, or you gonna stick around for a bit?
I don't know. I don't put a lot of thought into the future just because it's so uncertain. If
I
you would have
feel you.
asked me that, 13 years, 14 years ago when I started, shit, I was already at WrestleMania by this age,
Right. Yeah.
That
Hey,
didn't
shoot
happen.
for the stars.
A lot of shit changed. So, I don't try to put a lot of baskets into like, I'm definitely set going to do this.
Yeah.
So right now, I love wrestling. I've got, of course, like I said, with Kentucky, you got to be licensed. I've got my license number tattooed on my arm with the word passion under it. It's what I've always wanted to do, what I've always loved. But, family comes first. I don't want to be that absent dad that's always on the road all the time. I definitely have, set a ceiling for myself on purpose. Because, I would much rather be here and support my kids into their dreams than to be gone following my own, leaving them behind.
Yes. You got to keep it at least in your back pocket long enough for the youngest kid to like see you do it and remember it, because that's something so unique.
She already has her gimmick.
Oh, yes.
As of last night, I got on the trampoline with my 5 and my 3-year-old, and they were like, "We want to wrestle," and they always call the referee the coach. So I'm like, "All right," and they're like, "Dad, you're the coach," and I'm like, "All right." So I look at my 5-year-old and I'm like, "What's your wrestling name?" And she's like, "I want to be the Undertaker," and I'm like, "All right." So I look at my 3-year-old and I'm like, "What's your wrestling name?" And she was like, "I'm Fuck Dog," and I'm like, "What?" She's like, "I'm Fuck Dog."
Respect.
Oh shit! He's awesome. You need to keep that nickname alive forever, and eventually one day she's
That's a
like,
t-shirt.
Why am I Fuck Dog?
Why you can call me Fuck Dog for?
Dude, that can be like when she's in, going to WrestleMania and they do like look at these little videos from when they were kids, and they're like, "Hey, I'm Fuck Dog," and this is, that'd be awesome.
Why did you use your Kenny Rogers voice?
I don't fucking know.
I'm Kenny Rogers.
It just comes out. So, "Hi, I'm Kenny Rogers, and this is Dairy Chug." I was raised on the dairy, bitch. It's one of my favorite Mad TV skits ever. Anyway, moving on.
Mine was the Sopranos one where they did like edited for TV Sopranos.
Oh, that was so good.
Where's the gabagool?
They just said gabagool for like every F word was just gabagool, gabagool.
It just keeps cutting everything out. 6 seasons in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Man, it's been fun having you on, dude. We've been having a kick-ass time. I've missed you, bro. I haven't seen you since I wrestled you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we gotta get a show
I think
together.
that was 2007, 2008.
Yeah, dog. Like that's a long time ago.
Damn.
So
It doesn't sound like that long ago, but like if you do the math and you're like 15 years, like Jesus Christ.
yeah, I ain't seen this dude in over a decade. We need to get
Was that-
together.
Me and my tag partner, we were sitting on the couch about a month or so ago after a show, and we were watching old backyard tapes of us. And I'm sitting there, I'm like watching it, and I'm looking at the date of the matches and shit, and I'm like, man, I was like 15, like in the ring, and mind you, I was the absolute dog shit, fucking
Fuck
worst,
dog, if you will.
but I mean, freshly squeezed, still steaming, fucking dog shit. But I'm like, I'm in this fucking ring doing this at 15. I'm like, I'm fucking 32 now. So like, it's literally been over half my life.
Yeah.
But I've been like, this is just what I do. Like, it's just who I am.
I wish I would have had the balls to do it because I've loved wrestling forever, and I just never even thought of it being like something to actually do. And I don't know
Never
why.
too late, dog.
I think, if you're a wrestling fan, you at least one time have to take a bump. Get in the ring and
dude,
take one flat back bump just to understand.
100%. Like, it's on my bucket list. Our local promotion, actually, for a while, our local promotion is NWF. But they used to have a fantasy camp, and you can go in and, take bumps and kind of put together a little match or whatnot. And, COVID killed that, and they've yet to bring it back. But we've been pushing Roger Ruffin. Like, come on, Raj. We want to get in there. Let the dads get in there and take some bumps, because it is on the bucket list.
Well, let him know that this dad is available on a weekend starting in September.
Okay. Hey,
they run pretty much every Saturday, man.
Yeah, we're not far from you here. I'd say if you're
sure
30
you
minutes
got
outside
quite
of
a few
Louisville,
friends
we're
there.
within 2 hours of you then.
And if you're talking the same Tim I think you're talking about, I'm pretty sure he wrestles there. Talking Tim Minnelli? You were talking about a Tim earlier.
Oh, no.
No, okay. So Tim Minnelli is still he is known as Pompano Joe right now, and he's all over the place. So I thought you might have been talking about him.
No, so it's actually you were saying about how far I was from you guys during the Bengals Titans playoff game. When like I'm all over Twitter and shit, and I'm seeing everybody shit talking to each other, and so I look up, I'm like, what's the halfway point between Nashville and Cincinnati? And the halfway point is actually Radcliffe. That's the fucking town I live in.
Oh,
so
really?
I'm like, look, if y'all start to fucking converge, like it's all faded and shit now, but that's a fucking Bengals logo. Like,
Yeah.
I'm telling
yeah.
you, the
Hooday,
lines are
baby.
fucking drawn. I'm telling you where I'm at.
Yeah.
I love Nashville. I think it's a beautiful city. I love going down there, just spending a fucking day wasting time in Nashville. But I will tell you, if this fucking Civil War happens, it's Who Day all day.
I know where I'm going.
Fuck the Titans.
Yes.
I'm so excited to be a season
Why
ticket
can't Joe
holder, dog.
Burrow just get a whole training camp in? Come on.
He just doesn't want to listen. He isn't hurt. He just didn't want to practice in the heat. So he's like, oh, if I act like my fucking leg hurts, they'll let me sit down for 3 weeks, and then I can just do the preseason, and that'd be it. That's all it is.
He didn't have to
He's a
play it up as
forward-thinking
much
man.
as he did.
Yeah. He literally had everybody in Cincinnati in a collective.
Fuck.
Yeah, I was scrolling Twitter when it popped up, and I looked at my wife, and I'm like, you know what sucks? I was like, that NASCAR stops in November and doesn't start back till after the fucking Super Bowl. And she was like, why? I was like, because I don't even fucking want to watch football this year.
If it happens, I don't want to see it live.
The only Bengals game I ever went to was them and the Steelers back in 2015. Wow. Not the playoff game, but the game where Dalton broke his thumb.
Oh, yeah.
It was the day after my birthday, and my wife got me tickets to the game for my birthday.
That's a good one, too, man.
I'll tell you what, you go to a Bengals Steelers game, that is a fucking experience.
Yeah, and we were sitting on the visitor
lose
side, so we were fucking surrounded.
Dude, there's no sense of humanity when it comes to Bengals Steelers. Like, I've watched guys, like, spit on each other, like, just everybody fucking hates each other. Just hates each other.
I used to work in Pittsburgh for like 3 months. And I was sitting at the bar, and this guy's like, hey, man. He's like, you want to talk? And I'm like, no, you probably don't want to talk to me. And he's like, well, why is that? And I'm like, well, probably because that Steelers jersey you're wearing. And he goes, don't tell me you're a fucking Browns fan. I'm like, you better watch your fucking mouth.
Yeah. Hey, now. Well, at least the Steelers and Bengals fans can get together and collectively agree that Cleveland absolutely sucks.
Yeah, we shared a few beers and talked about how bad Cleveland's fucking ass.
Well, at least we're not Browns fans.
Fucking shitbirds. I work with a shitbird fan. I can't, like, why? Like, you've never even fucking been to Baltimore.
8 championships, bro. 8 championships.
Shit. fuck Baltimore. Fuck Cleveland, and fucking Pittsburgh too. God damn it.
That'd have been Cincinnati's championship that year, hadn't they taken out Carson Palmer? Cinco.
We're gonna get it this year, dog. We're gonna get it this year, and it's gonna be the first of 7 in a row. And then after that, Joe's gonna be like, all right, and he's gonna hang.
Calm down, LeBron James.
No, it's gonna happen, dog. I see it. Y'all would shit if that happens. we're pulling this clip up 7 years from now. Like, holy fuck, dude!
It's gonna suck because then everybody's gonna be Bengals fans. It's
I
gonna be
will go
impossible
out
to
in
get tickets
7
to.
years, and I will get a fucking Lombardi tattooed right fucking here between the jaw and the fucking cheekbone.
Bro, I'll tell you this much right now: if we win 6 in a row, that next year you're gonna be fucking terrified. You're gonna be like, if we fucking win the 7th fucking one, and I have to get a Lombardi right here.
I already got my eyebrow and my hairline done, so I'm like, fuck it.
At that point, the Bengals win their 7th championship. All right, I'll get. You know what? I'll get one with you. If the Bengals win the next 7 Super Bowls in a row, we'll both get Lombardi trophies on our face.
Let's do it.
All right, that's official right here.
And it's on video. It's on the internet, so it lasts forever.
Yeah, it's forever.
But I'll tell you one thing: if that fucking happens, that moment we're gonna be like, well, fuck. I guess we
See you
have to.
Tuesday, I guess. I don't know.
Call my boss. I'm taking the day off.
Just make it neck tattoos. Go Cody Rhodes with the Lombardi Trophy.
Nah, so I already got the whole neck done.
Oh yeah, you can't.
The
ruin
lighting
that,
in here
man.
sucks, so you can't see it.
Well,
but
see,
yeah.
we were talking about we're gonna get DWO tattoos, and that was my first thing. Is like I'm gonna get it right on my neck, like Cody. Just
Lombardi trophy on my neck. Something, Cody Rhodes.
DWO.
I picked a spot, by the
in
way.
my soul.
Yeah, did you find a spot?
I did.
I think I might just put like as a stamp and do a part of Phil right here. You know what I mean?
Well, I have, my whole right arm is like my dad arm, so it's like the tattoos for my kids, and that tattoo that my kids designed. So I feel like it's got to be either bicep or right shoulder, chest area to keep in line with the dad. So
My whole right arm.
Well, see, that's the
color. So
this is my fucking camera's backwards, but my forehead is Sadie Lee, which is my 9-year-old.
I love the
when
name
she was
Sadie, by the
2,
way.
She, I was talking to her, and I'm like, hey, I said, Daddy's going to get your name tattooed. Where should I get it at? And she was like, your head.
All
And I'm
right.
like, all right.
Okay.
Like, I shouldn't have fucking asked a 2-year-old.
I was gonna say, did anybody tell you you
goddamn
shouldn't
man,
ask
my
a
word.
2-year-old where you should put a tattoo?
Oh shit.
But if you're gonna have anything tattooed on your forehead, have your daughter's name, and Sadie Lee is an absolutely beautiful name.
It's just the other 3 daughters that I don't have their names tattooed, and I'm like, look, I got a big forehead, but it ain't that fucking big to get all y'all. So you better get a lot more fucking.
You're gonna need a
creative.
5 head for that one, buddy.
yeah, you got a 4 head. You got a 5 head.
I guess I could just go down, just list them this way instead of
Do
this
the
way.
AJ Styles, but on your forehead.
That's fucking great. Oh shit.
Love it.
So all his got the initial AJ. All of my daughter's names start with S, so I'll just get like the old fucking like elementary school, like the 6 line,
Yes,
fucking
the
sharp
S
letter
we always
S
used
just
to
in the middle
draw
of my
on
forehead,
everything.
and then their names off to the side.
Genius.
That's a great idea.
Be fucking
Yeah,
dope.
I didn't know that was called a Stussy S. I don't know why, but I know
Is
that.
it?
I never knew what it was called. I just remember
I know how to make
practicing
it.
making one for
Yeah.
like 6 months, and
Always made it say smile.
It was so hard for me to master, and then when I finally did it, I wouldn't stop. I just drew them everywhere.
I drew one on my wife's work safety glasses the other day just because I couldn't think of anything else to fucking draw on them. So.
It's either that or the Wu-Tang symbol.
Yeah.
But now I draw DWO on everything.
Yeah.
We have a bus stop at work, the smoking section. There's like gang stuff all up in there, and I just real big just go DWO, and it just stayed. Nobody messed with it.
Y'all got any stickers?
Oh,
Absolutely. We got stickers, we got
Plenty.
t-shirts, we got hats, we got beanies, we got
Yeah, I'm gonna have to like
Hugs.
send y'all some stickers and get one in return.
yeah.
Oh,
I'm
dude,
gonna give you a sticker
we-
for my wrestling gear bag.
We're about to shamelessly plug all of our shit right now. Is what's about to happen.
Teespring.com. You can get yourself a hoodie. You can
No.
get yourself a.
T-Public.
Is it
T-Public.
Fucking
T-Public?
dummy.
Yeah.
God damn
You
it!
say Teespring every fucking
What
time.
is Teespring?
It's a fucking store where you get
It's
t-shirts.
not
It's
one
not
that
our
we
store.
have.
I might have to put it on the top of the page here so you can remember.
You might as well get a Teespring.
Yeah, because
I think I'm gonna have to.
just At least put like 2 shirts on there just in case anybody types it in. Like, oh, he wasn't lying.
I'm sorry. Public.
T-Public.
ProWrestlingTees.com.
The T-Public, you too can have.
We the dads.
Oh, that's
Say,
the one.
You
Yeah,
the
dude,
ones, we the dads.
we got
I'm
all
gonna have to
kinds of
spend
that shit coming.
some of my hard-earned money to you guys. Buy y'all around.
I'm getting a
Yeah.
Colton versus y'all shirt. I'm just letting you know right now.
Oh yeah, that's happening for sure.
Yeah, just send me sizes. I got a box of them.
Oh hell
The
yeah.
nice pre-shrunk cotton, quality screen print. These are not Vista printed or cricketed. These are professional.
Cricket.
Yes.
I'm an exquisite fucking redneck
Yes.
pro wrestling NASCAR fan from Kentucky.
Redneck.
I'll tell you what.
Baby.
We'll do the same.
Yeah.
We have a kick-ass merch maker too. What up, Andy? MF merch.
Andy? Yeah, man, it's definitely gonna happen. We got to get a show together, whether you're on that show or whether we're checking out a show together. We are so fucking alike, dude. I watch NASCAR, I watch football, I love pro wrestling. We definitely need to fucking have a beer or two at some point.
Yeah,
Woo.
yeah. Any time. Like I said, I'm not too far away, and I'm usually, if I'm not here, I'm usually out in Huntington. So I'm passing through. Just need to cut up 71 the other way and come up that way sometime.
I'm down.
Hell yeah, man. Maybe we'll keep in touch, man. Maybe we'll get together for an event, and maybe we can get you booked up here from somebody. We have a few connections up here. Maybe I'll give them your information. Maybe we can get you in on maybe a tri-state wrestling or a Cincy wrestling event.
Oh yeah, definitely. Not trying to make y'all whore me out, but I gotta whore myself out when I get a chance.
We're gonna.
So.
That worked.
Well, do you have anything you'd like to shamelessly plug?
Anybody watching who's in the Louisville or Jeffersonville area, August 19th at the arena, 1416 Spring Street, TCW School for Fools. There will be an N64 set up with No Mercy for free. And myself and Trace Evans, the Creekwater Syndicate, plan on making a little statement there that night. Also follow me on my socials. That's Charles Colton KY on Instagram and Twitter, or X, excuse me.
Yeah.
Gotta get used to new social branding.
Yeah. Man, I tell you what, I love that tag name, Creekwater Syndicate. Which one of y'all figured that out, I hope you guys had a moment of fucking because that is a perfect name, Creekwater Syndicate. That's got a fucking, I don't know, it's got balls in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's full credit to Trace. You may remember him. He wrestled a C-Easy back in when we backyard wrestled.
Okay.
He was super young back then. He was 14.
I mean, fuck.
Oh, wow.
I think you were 15. I think I was barely 18. So
yeah, we were all young, pretty young cats. But
I remember
Frank
crazy, man.
Frank was telling me, yeah, you're gonna wrestle one of their younger guys, but he's good. And I was like, that's fine. And when we started talking, you were just fucking putting the match together. I was like, fuck yeah, he knows exactly what the fuck he's doing.
Spoiler alert, I had no fucking idea what I was doing.
Talking to talk, baby.
Hey, we put on a decent match for two guys who barely knew what the fuck they were doing.
I would love to see this video.
I tried like fucking hell to find it, dog. I really did. I went through all my footage. I searched every email. I searched everything. I know I had it on MySpace because I had it uploaded on there. But, MySpace was 15 years ago. So...
You should get a hold of our one friend. We all got a mutual friend. I forget what his name is, but who's the guy who founded MySpace?
Tom.
Tom.
God damn it. I was like, who are we talking
We got a hold of
about?
Tom. Tom would be able to find
I
it.
was thinking of my real friends, is he talking about Jeff? No.
I couldn't remember his name. Thanks, Big Rig.
Wasn't this the pose? The
Spot
candid
on, dude.
the candid over the shoulder. Iconic.
Fuck.
All right, well, Charles, we appreciate you coming on, man.
I
We'll definitely
appreciate
have to do
y'all
it again soon. I'm sure we will keep in touch. I know I just followed you with the podcast page on Instagram, so We will be able to keep in touch through one of us, all of us, who knows. But
yeah, we're everywhere.
yeah. But thank you so much for coming
everywhere.
on, dude.
Yeah, I'll be a little more
really-
prepared next time with a little better setup and having to use my camera. I'll have my webcam.
Well, hell yeah.
situated.
I'm
I mean,
definitely
as long,
going
as long as
to.
we can hear you, that's the big thing. I mean, sometimes we've had people that we can see crystal clear and we can't hear them worth the dog shit. So it's like, as long as you got good audio, that's really all that matters.
I'm definitely going to call upon you, man. Me and my brother are actually starting a show, which I'm going to shamelessly plug right now because it starts tomorrow with episode number 1 with our boy Big Rig, who's going to be our first guest. But me and my brother are starting a show called Shirts and Stuff. And it's not really a wrestling show. It's more of a life show. And I'm probably going to try to use that friendship card and get you on that show as well.
You know, I'm a bit of a T-shirt collector myself, not just wrestling, but all sorts of T-shirts. I'm a big Goodwill hunter. So
Brother, you'll fit in great.
yeah,
You'll fit in great because it's all about shirts and stuff.
yeah. I can finally have a reason to show off my collection instead of my wife bitching at me that I need to get rid of half of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
talking about I'm sitting at over 500 shirts at this point. So I know all about it. That's not
I'm not
Kevin-
there, but I have used you a few times in arguments as like a scale.
well,
She's like, well, you got all these shirts and you want to get rid of none of them. You're filling the whole closet. And I'm like, but Bo has this many. So
in comparison,
Imagine how mad his wife is.
I have my own whole closet and it's almost full. Like to where I'm like have no space. At some point, I was requested on TikTok to please show all my shirts at once, and I'm working on being able to do that. It's just I'm gonna have to literally bring them all down, and it's a whole thing. But I will at some point within the next, I don't know. I'll give myself a 2-month period. I will make that video happen. And I'll make sure you guys see it.
kind of like be like Cribs, be like,
These are my
this is where
shirts.
this is where the magic happens.
I'd like to alphabetize them, but that seems like a lot.
Dude, you should just like hang them all on the outside of the house and see how much of the front of the house you can cover. That'd be cool.
Wrestling T-shirt house.
Is there even a house here? Nope, just a big pile of T-shirts.
That's all my shirts. You see that Batista one? I got that at Mania.
You guys be talking Hamilton, man. I tell you what.
Oh, fuck, guys. It's been
All right, gentlemen. Well, again, Charles, thank you so much for coming on.
thank
As
you,
always, we have been the DWO Podcast. I've been Big Rig Eric Maffey. He has been Mr. Magnificent Mike Martin. He has been Wrestling T-shirt Guy Cephas. And he has been Charles Colton, a.k.a. Kentucky. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to say it 7 more times if I don't get off of here. So follow us on all the socials. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Go check out our T-shirts. TeePublic, not Teespring.
For now.
I swear to God, if you were about to say Teespring, you were going to get muted.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Until next time, Top Dads out.